Yo guys, what is up? Today we are going to be doing a tutorial on all the loadouts for one of my favorite military simulator games right here. So, this is for all the new players that are coming and just anybody that needs a refresher. So first off, we have the standard issue loadout for the commander. Now the commander, he places down, tanks, basically any vehicle, and he drops supplies. And there's two loadouts, as you can see. The standard issue has the M1 Thompson. Your pistol has two smokes, two bandage, a watch, a binocs, and a knife. Now the watch places down garrisons. The garrisons are basically where the entire team can spawn on a point. Then you have the veteran. So the veteran has the M1 Grand, a pistol, two smokes, two bandage, watch, binocs, and a knife. Oh, my bad. Now, like I said, he places down, he also can do bombing runs, strafe runs, basically anything. Now you have the officer, which controls about a squad of about 7 people max. So the standard issue for the officer is the M1 Thompson, pistol, two grenades, two smokes, two bandages, a watch, binocs, and a knife. And not only can his watch place down garrisons, he can also place down outposts. Outposts are where your squad, on only your squad, can spawn on, and they cost 0 supplies. But the garrisons cost 50 supplies in captured zones and 100 supplies in enemy zones. And how you get supplies is either ask the commander to drop some, ask a player to go get a resource truck. The resource truck carries about like 200 supplies, but does take a long time to get there, and the commander can just drop supplies from a plane. But then you also can have support players. Support players carry around 50 supplies each, but there can only be one support player in your squad. So a big thing about this game is you need to communicate with other players. So that's a big point. And if you do not have a mic, especially on PlayStation, you will more than likely get kicked from the game, because the communication is a big part of this game. So yeah, and since they carry around both 50 supplies, it costs 50 in captured, 100 in enemy zones. So either bring 2 support as commander drops supplies. When the commander drops supplies, he drops 100 supplies. So yes, like a. Then the point man carries around the M1 carbine, pistol, 2 grenades, 2 smokes, 2 bandage, watch, binocs, and a knife. Then the NCO, which is the last loadout for the Americans. You have the M1 Grand, two grenades, 2 smokes, 2 bandage, the watch, the binocs, and the knife. Then the rifleman. The rifleman and assault and automatic rifleman, and somewhat the machine gunner, is suggested for newer players just starting out in the game and learning the ropes. So standard issue for the rifleman is the M1 Grand, 2 grenades, 2 bandages, and a hammer. Now the hammer helps build stuff like engineers that I'll touch on later, and anti-tank. Can place down barricades, bunkers, and basically any fortification that you could think of that was in World War II, they can make and build. You just need supplies and hammers and help from other squad members. Also carries around a small ammunition box where I think like 5 players can resupply their ammo from any small caliber weapon. Relatively small, speaking, like machine guns, rifles, all that stuff. And then a knife. Point man has essentially the same loadout, just the M1 carbine. Now time for the assault. Assault standard issue is the M1 Thompson, 2 grenades, 2 smokes, the hammer, 2 bandages, and a knife. Now the veteran has a new gun, the trench gun, which is a shotgun, 2 grenades, 2 smokes, hammer, 2 bandage, a knife. Now the Grenadier has the M1 Thompson, but I think this time he carries around like 4 grenades and 4 smokes, and then the hammer, bandage, knife. And now the Raider, which is the last one, has the M1 grease gun, 2 grenade, 2 smokes, the satchel. The satchel is mainly playing for tanks because it can take down a tank in one swoop, except you have to get really close up on the tank to place it on the tank, and then you can set it for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and 60 seconds for it to explode. Now you can place these on like roadways and buildings and just any other vehicle, except the community mainly uses them for tanks. Then the hammer, 2 bandage, a knife. Next up we got the automatic rifleman. The automatic rifleman is like one that most new players choose. It has standard issue BAR automatic rifle, which comes with 2 grenades, 2 bandages, hammer, and a knife. And then the veteran has the M1 Thompson, 2 smoke, 2 bandage, hammer, and a knife. And yeah, as you can see, it tells you the level that you can unlock them at the bottom of the loadout name. But as you can see, the officer, there can only be one. There can be about 5 riflemen, 1 assault, 1 automatic rifleman, 1 medic, 1 support, 1 machine gunner, 1 anti-tank, and 1 engineer. So like for like per squad, there like the most you can have is 5 riflemen, and the rest there can only be 1 player. That's one of them. Back to what I was saying, the veteran, you know, M1 Thompson. The M1 Thompson's probably one of the best automatic rifles in the game. Mainly because it's mainly used for like middle range or close up, while the BAR is mainly standard for long range automatic rifles. And then you have the medic. One big mistake I see a lot of players doing with the medic is not really healing people and going for kills. This game is not about kills, especially if you're a medic. This game is about capturing points with your fellow teammates to win the game. The game is not about kills. So the standard issue for the medic is the M1, the M1 carbine, the pistol, 2 smokes, 20 morphine, 20 bandages, and a knife. Now the M1 carbine only has 2 magazines. The pistol in this loadout has about, I think, like 10. Now the morphine's used when you're the medic. You can see red above down players' heads. You can go and revive them with the morphine and bandage them with the bandages. That's what they're for. Now, players cannot be revived if it's a headshot, or if they get shot in the body too many times. Normally, if it's 1 shot to anywhere in the body and they go down, they normally can be revived. Not all the time though. Remember, this game is most of the time a 1-hit game. Now, if you get hit in the shoulder or leg, you can bandage yourself up without needing a medic. Now the corpseman. Corpseman only has the handgun, except you have like 20 mags for the handgun. And then you have 4 smokes, 20 bandages, 20 morphine, then also 1 medic supply box. The medic supply box is where all the medics can go and refill their morphine and bandages and their smokes. Now the support player. Support player standard issue is M1 Grand, 2 grenades, 2 bandages, and then 50 supplies. Now, like I said, 50 supplies can be helped to build garrisons, and also it can also help build like barricades, fortifications. And then hammer and a knife. Now the ammo carrier has the M1 grease gun, 50 supplies, but yeah, it also has small ammunition box and explosive. The explosive ammunition box, you can people can resupply their anti-tank guns. You know, like rocket launchers, satchels, anti-personnel mines, anti-tank mines. So very useful. Also, they have the hammer, 2 bandages, and a knife. Now the flamer, which is pretty much everybody's favorite, I would say, on support, because it has the flamethrower, pistol, 2 bandages, 2 smokes, 50 supplies, hammer, and a knife. Now, if you ask any player of this game to say what the most funnest way to use the flamer is on like which map, it would probably be on the D-Day map, because when you get up next to the bunkers, you can just put the flamethrower through the bunkers. It's probably a very cinematic thing. Alright, next you have the machine gunner. Machine gunner has the M16 machine gun, pistol, 2 bandages, and a knife. Now, a big mistake I see most players do is going for large amounts of kills with the machine gun. That's not your job. When you're the machine gunner, your job is to either stay really close or far away and suppress the enemy to where they can't move or they'll get hit. So that can basically buy your team time to fortify a position of a base. And also, one of your jobs to do is to not push up on the front lines. Sometimes it will be your job to be on the front line, but most of the time it's staying back at already captured bases behind the front lines in case y'all get pushed back. You can defend and give your players and give your teammates time to regroup. Now, fire support, it has a BAR and it gives you more ammo than the automatic rifleman for the BAR, and then it has the hammer, 2 bandages, and a knife. So then the anti-tank standard issue is the M1 Garand, rocket launcher, 2 grenades, 2 bandages, and a knife. Now, as an anti-tanker, you probably have one of the most important jobs and dangerous jobs on the battlefield in this game. Your job is to most of the time get behind tanks and destroy the tanks. Now, light and medium tanks take about 2 shots from your rocket launcher, which is all it needs to be destroyed. But like a Panzer, which is a high level tank, like a high armored tank, you need 4. So that's why you also need to commute with your support players for the explosive ammo and stuff like that, so you can get resupplied and then take out the tank. So then you also need the gun crew. So the gun crew gives you 2 grenades, hammer, 2 bandages, and a wrench. Now the wrench, you might say, well, what's the anti-tank about this? Well, the wrench can give you an anti-tank gun. Placement gun was basically, you know, like the placement guns with the big barrels that you place down on the ground. Yeah, that's the one we takes about 1 shot to kill a tank. Bad thing about these is you're gonna either get lots more supplies and build another one, because you cannot move them. Now the ambusher. Ambusher has 2 grenades, hammer, 2 bandages, a satchel, an anti-tank mine, and a knife. Now the anti-tank mine is not to destroy tanks. The only time it'll destroy a tank is if it's on like really low health. The anti-tank mine is to be set in streets where tanks will most likely come down to support their guys. So you have to get behind enemy lines, place them down on high traffic roadways where tanks will come, because it'll take down the treads of the tanks where it cannot move, but it can still fire its machine gun and barrel, right? So your job to do is when it takes out the treads is to wait until the crew get out of the tank to repair the tank and kill the crew. Alright. Next, you have the engineer. Now, the engineer standard issue is the M1 carbine, the 2 bandages, and a wrench. Now, the wrench, like I said, it's not like the anti-tank one, but it's used to place down barricades, barbed wire, anti-tank barricades, gates, pretty much anything that you can think of as fortifications for a base back in World War II, they can place it down. Then a hammer, of course, to help build it. A repair tool. Repair tools to help repair vehicles. They can also place down like repair places, is like where tanks can get repaired really fast. Then anti-personnel mines you place in high traffic pathways that enemy players would come down to destroy enemy players. Then anti-tank mines and a knife. Now the Sapper loadout gives you the M16 trench gun, 2 bandages, two anti-personnel mines, 2 smokes, satchel, hammer, and a knife. Now the field engineer gives you the grease gun, 2 bandages, wrench, hammer, 2 grenades, 2 smokes, repair tool, and a knife. Now tank commander standard issue is the M16 is the Thompson handgun, 2 bandages, binocs, and a knife. Now another big issue that we have is people like to like have tanks on their own. You need a crew at least of 3 people to operate a tank at its full capacity. Alright, your spot as a crewman is either to drive the tank or spot the tank, so you can have a wide range of view about what's around you. Now the mechanic has I think 20 mags for the pistol, repair tool, 2 bandages, binocs, and a knife. The repair tool is in case like you ain't around a repair station or like an engineer that has one. It's like if you're out in the open or behind enemy lines and you're broken down to repair it. Now the crewman standard issue is the 20 mag pistol, 2 bandages, and a knife. Now crewman is to like operate the guns of the tank, most of the time to drive it, get to where it's going to go. And then same thing with the mechanic, as it has 2 smokes, the repair tool. Same thing. Now the 2 smokes, that's why also another reason why you need to have a crew, is to when you pop out, to pop the smokes so they don't know where you're at, repair the tank, get back in. Now a spotter is with the sniper. Now the tank crew and the sniper crew are 2 separate crews. They're not in the regular squads. They're 2 separate squads. Standard issue for the spotter is the Thompson, 2 grenades, 2 bandages, 2 anti-personnel, a light ammo box, a watch. Now the watch, I don't remember if it can place down garrisons. I think it can only place down outposts on this one, but I'm not sure. I may be wrong. Then you also have the binocs and the knife. Now the scouts is what you're going to want to get to. Okay, I'm working my way there shortly, but you get 2 smokes, the watch, the binocs. Now the most important thing out of this entire loadout, the flare gun. Flare gun is, so on the map that you have, the flare gun can show enemies that are around you and also light up the area at nighttime. Then you also have 2 bandages and a knife. Now finally, the last one, a sniper. Standard issue of a sniper, and of course basically like the regular sniper. I forgot what it was called. And then you also have the pistol, 2 grenades, 2 bandages, and a knife. Now the veteran is basically essentially the same loadout, except this swapped. You see the grenade for 2 smokes, 2 anti-personnel, 2 bandages, and a knife. Now another thing, like I go over there, you see my level. My level right now is 44. I think you need to be like level 20 or 30 to be a commander. That was like a recently updated, so like noobs can't become a commander. Now I'm shortly just I'm not gonna go through all of these, but I'm just gonna show y'all each of the loadouts, real quickly, of each faction, or this video will be like an hour long. Also, tell me what other videos y'all would like me to see in the future. So as y'all know, I got my PC. Of course, it's been like a year. So you're obviously going to see, I've been getting into Arma a lot on my PC, so y'all definitely be seeing lots of Arma videos too. And some more shorts coming soon. Yeah, I'm only going to show the German and the, whoops, uh, not the Soviet Union, and the British, because these are really the only ones that you need to see. Yeah, I think they fixed it in a regular update, but most of the time you'd be playing either as the Americans and the Germans, which sound fun, but after you've been playing it for like a couple weeks or months, it gets old to just playing as those other factions. But I think as you know, as a new update, they've removed it to where there's more British and German African corps and Soviet Union battles. So yeah, and if you are thinking, yes, you do not need to play every single one to get the levels up, whichever, uh, whatever like level you see. Like I go to my United States, it's Officer 4, and then British Army also my officer level is 4. So yes, your levels do carry over. So till the next video, bye.